Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Virgo in the month of July 2018. Hello, Virgo. How are you doing? Hope you guys are doing well. Your summer's going good, or if you're in the southern hemisphere, hope the winter is treating you well. So, hello to returning viewers. Thanks for coming back. I appreciate it. And new viewers, hello. You're welcome here as well. Either way, some of you may know my life was a little crazy a couple months ago. Crazy stuff with family, visiting, all that good stuff. Got sick in June, then I got better, came back and did some mini readings for you guys. And then I happened to get sick again with bronchitis, so that had knocked me out for about 2.5, 3 weeks. And so now here I am again, getting back on schedule. So I do apologize for the lateness of these videos, but like I said, when you got bronchitis, you can't really do much in the term, and when it comes to speaking to people or, making videos for YouTube, it's just not really happening. Anyway, so I've gone ahead and I've shuffled a little bit off camera. What I'm going to do now is get your outcome and your overall for the month of July. And once I get that and I flip all the cards, that's when I'll begin the reading. And the timestamp will be below if you guys want to skip all of this. There it is. Alright, bottom of the deck is your overall energy. Card flipped out like that, so that's your outcome. Let's go ahead and flip the remaining 2 cards. And, excuse me, once I see everything, I'm going to tell you what's happening. Alright. Where's Virgo, please, in the month of July? Where is Virgo in July? Here, thank you. Alright. Virgo, you begin, I want to say July, but you begin in this reading as the 3 of Pentacles. So, very straightforward. You're hard at work. You're in negotiations. Some of you are maybe negotiating contracts. Maybe you've got job renewals coming up where, or you're up for review, or you're up and you're being, what's that called? Evaluations at your job. But whatever it is, you're like caring about the bottom line, Virgo. And my voice is slightly like sarcastic in that because I haven't met a Virgo yet that doesn't care about their bottom line. So it's very much your part of your wheelhouse to really give a damn about your bottom line, your dollars and cents, or your stability, more so than your money. Because, some of you, I have met a few Virgos who aren't really caring about money, but they do care about their stability. So whatever keeps you afloat, Pentacles do talk about money, but they again talk about work, also talk about things that you value, so your time. Some of you might have certain charities or organizations that you're a part of that are philanthropic, and therefore it's not really your job, but you might treat it like your job, or it doesn't really fulfill you in the way that or stabilize you, in the way that a job would. But for you, Virgo, if you're volunteering your time or you're associated with a good cause that's dear to your heart, that offers you some type of stability, and it's really important to you. So basically, that's where your focus is, I feel. I feel that you're really like in that mode, and it's good. I think where things might get a little dicey is that it might be when it comes to partnerships within those worlds of working or volunteerism, or even in your home life, where, again, you might be in negotiations, or you're evaluating a project, or your work is being evaluated, contracts are being reevaluated or renegotiated. So things might get a little hairy when it comes to dealing with other people and having their sentiments or their opinions kind of thrown in the mix, or their considerations having to be looked at. And that's just a caveat, is why I'm telling you that, because I think you're in like a boss mode, because you've got the Queen of Wands right above that. So you're very much like, you have laser focus on what you want, or where you're going, and how you envision getting there, or where your passion lies. Like some of you might be making job changes. That might be why you're in negotiations. You might be talking about moving to a different corporation or a different company, or even changing job industries. So you're out there interviewing with people and you have an idea of what you want, and you kind of are like, boom, 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 like point A leads to point B, leads to point C. You see it very logically laid out. But again, because you're dealing with other people, you might have to reroute some of your ideas, or you might have to readjust your plan, so to speak. And not by much, I don't think, because it's a 3, so it's not, and it does talk about changes. It does talk about having to find those balances. But I feel because you've got the Queen of Wands right above it, Virgo, that, excuse me, on your side of things at least, you're kind of able to see the bigger picture. So normally, quote unquote, normally, I think Virgo is not huge on having to restructure their plans. Like, when it comes to what you want, or rather, excuse me, what you have dominion over, thank you. When it comes to what you have absolute control over, you're like, I'm not deviating from this plan, I'm not changing this plan, this is what I intended to do. So let's say you have to run errands. You want to hit the grocery store, then you want to hit the laundromat, or excuse me, the dry cleaners or whatever, and then you want to then you want to go pick up something from your stepsister's house or something like that. Boom, boom, boom. Now, some of you will lay that plan out because it makes geographical sense. Some of you will do that because, when you get to your stepsister's house, you're going to actually stop and make a meal, so it makes sense to bring groceries to her house. That way you can fix something up quickly in her kitchen. Others of you, whatever, the rhyme and the reason for why you want to go in that order is understood to you because you have absolute control over leaving your house, getting to the grocery store, getting to the dry cleaners or the laundromat, and then getting to your sister's house or stepsister's house. When it comes to other people having say or weight in the situation, you're more okay with the plan being deviated. You don't like it. I mean, the Queen of Wands is a boss lady, okay? She wants things done her way, and she wants them done like yesterday. But she's not as hardcore or as hard to compromise with as, say, the Queen of Swords, just for an example. Or even sometimes the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles can compromise, but it might take like some really hard pulling. The Queen of Wands can be negotiated with. She can compromise if it makes logical sense to her. So that's like the extra step that occurs when whatever you're negotiating, whatever you're changing directions with or making new foundations with, if it makes sense, like someone has to have a good pitch, essentially. So if you are moving to a different job or into a different industry, Virgo, you're wanting to suss it out. You're wanting to get the details. Like you're in the interview and you're asking about business models. You're asking about current VPs and CEOs and, what's the 10-year goal of the company? What's the 5-year goal? What's the immediate goal? Like you're interviewing them. Like as much as they're interviewing you to see if you meet their criteria, you're also like, so what are you guys looking to do in such and such a sector? Like, what's your impact there? And they're like, damn, Virgo, you came prepared. You're hired, right? I'm not saying you're going to get the job if you're going out for interviews, but that's your approach, is as much as you want to be accepted into the new company or to be re-accepted or the contract being renegotiated, as much as you want it for yourself, you also want to see yourself reflected in whatever company you're going to go on board with. You want to see yourself or your goals or your team's goals reflected in the contract. If you're doing negotiations for like a union, you want to see your collective workforce, you want to see their needs met in the contract, not just your personal needs, the needs of everyone. So it's like a co-interviewing, a co-evaluation that's going on here. That's lovely. That's proactive. Congratulations. I wish I could do that. And I think what's going on is, this is all because of what's here. And that's fun, in a way. I mean, it's all major arcanas. And it's also fun because I have told Leo, Cancer, Taurus, and I think Gemini. Those four, you're the sixth one that I'm doing, but those four have all gotten these triangle, trifecta sort of things going on in their reads. And it has been consistent. The only one who didn't get it, I believe, is Aries. So sorry, Aries. But everybody else has gotten these three cards sort of coming out in this triangle shape. And I've consistently asked, like, is it in the past? Is it separate from the remaining four cards? And I don't really have to ask this time because I just feel it and I can look at it and I can tell this is separate. Separate in the sense of it is informing the other four cards, but it's separate as in it's like something else to consider, something else at play. So what's at play? You've got the Star of the World card and the High Priestess. You've got some otherworldly, out of this realm, out of this dimension. Well, maybe dimension if you want to believe in that, but definitely stuff above you in the esoteric or spiritual or even religious sect going on for you, Virgo. There's a lot of changes going on, and it's changes that you want. It's changes that you've been wanting and hoping for and wishing for, and now it's coming about. Why do I know that? Because you got you got the star right next to the world. So star, sign of card of, Aquarius, the star card. So there might be an Aquarius of significance around you, Virgo, but it doesn't have to be. But the star card talks about healing. It talks about wishes. It talks about having this relationship with yourself that sort of extends beyond your physical body, extends beyond your 5 primary senses. And it's understanding that, and why would I put them down? I'm not even done talking about them. Excuse me. It's talking about realizing dreams and basically what has been in your head comes into fruition through your will, partially through your will, but also through your conscious efforts, your conscious mind working towards them. So what do I mean? Okay, so your physical body submits the application, gets on the phone, calls and sets up the interview, responds to the emails, goes to the interview, goes to the meeting, picks out what to wear, sits down in the chair. That's your physical body at work doing all of those things, and that's indicative in the star card. What's also indicative, or what's also indicated when the star card shows up, is, like I said, this higher notion of yourself, this higher perspective of yourself that comes into play. So there's this out of body, so to speak, version of you that's at work, that's upstairs talking to, if you believe in a god, the big man upstairs, or gods, the big men and women upstairs, or whatever you believe in or don't believe in. But there's another part of you that is not physically bound to your body, not physically bound to this world, that's putting in work too. So sometimes that can be manifested through, or you can sort of catch a glimpse of it or understand it when you think of your dreams, your actual dreams. So some of you might be journaling. You might be, some of you might be actively, lucid dreaming, where throughout the day you're imagining the business proposal being accepted. You're imagining shaking hands with the interviewer and they say, "You got the job, Virgo." Or you're imagining yourself leaving the dead-end job that you have now and just going wherever. You're just imagining telling your boss, like, "Here's my 2 weeks notice. See you later." Okay? Whatever you're doing, some of you are consciously manifesting it in that way. You think about it all day and then maybe you dream about it. Or, some of you have the ability to lucid dream, so you are dreaming about it. You're making sure that when you go to bed, you're thinking about telling your boss where to stick it because you're done with this job. Others of you are meditating, doing meditative practices. So that doesn't mean, meditation doesn't mean you sit down in a forest, you got bare feet on, and you got your stretch yoga pants on, and you're just listening to the wind flow through the trees. Meditating can be that. but it is not limited to that. Again, some of you are just meditating in therapy, whether that's official therapy with a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a counselor, or you're having therapy with just your friends or your family. By talking about it, by running down all the potentialities, the pros and the cons, it allows you to see clearer what you want. So you're verbally speaking it into existence, some of you. Some of you are thinking it into existence. Some of you are dreaming it to existence. Whatever way you're going about it, it is in partnership, in tandem with what you're physically doing. So some of you are, if you're leaving a job, some of you are just, every day you're taking one item from your desk and you're taking it home because you're physically preparing yourself to leave that space where you are now. So everybody's like, oh, what happened to, your little cute little calendar, or whatever happened to your little Funko Pop doll that was on your desk? Didn't you have like a bunch of Funko Pop figurines on your desk? And you're like, yeah, I took them home. And I'm like, why? What's going on? Just took it home. And you're not really, in that specific sense, you're not really like shouting from the rooftops what your plan is, what you're going to do, and all that stuff. You're just quietly, both physically and metaphysically, going about your business, Virgo. And the Star card helps you do that. World card of changes, partnered right next to it. World card also is associated with the fixed sign, so there might be a Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or an Aquarius again, who might be of significance in your life. But again, none of those signs have to mean anything. It's really about the energy. So fixed signs are between cardinal and mutable. And the irony about this card is that it signifies changes. And the irony is that fixed signs don't like change. Fixed signs are fixed signs because they like things to stay the same, essentially, in theory, right? But how I like to think of it is that a fixed sign can see the change through, okay? A mutable sign can initiate the change. They're like, you're a mutable sign, Virgo, so I'm speaking to you where you live, right? Can initiate the change, can have the idea of change, can have the bright idea. Like, oh, we could do this, or I could do that, but not the follow through. The cardinal change can take the initial change, can take that bright idea and put the foundation down. And that's it. They don't build upon it. All right, well, I poured the concrete. I sealed it off. It's ready to go. And they're like, but you were supposed to build a house? And the cardinal sign's like, I built the foundation. My job here is done. Okay? Fixed signs are able to take the energy of both the mutable and the initiate, or the cardinal energy, and make something out of it. So that's why there's sort of like this irony. Like, fixed signs don't care for change, but when it happens, they kind of roll with the punches and can make something out of it. I don't know how many Tauruses, Leos, Scorpios, or Aquariuses that you do know, Virgo, but if you do know some, take notice and see how well they cope with change in the long run. Like, they might, kick and scream about it, like, oh, these stupid new policies at work, I don't like them. But normally, in my experience, in my observation, the fixed signs will take on the change the fastest. They will bitch and moan about it a bit, but they will execute it to the letter. So if the new policy is you wear white socks with your black shoes in this hospital, they'll be the first one. It's like, I bought 5 packs of 8 pairs of white socks on sale yesterday at Target. And everybody else is like, I'm still wearing pink socks. I forgot about that policy. And the fixed sign's like, no, we've been doing this for 2 weeks. You guys should really catch up. All right? So that long diatribe about fixed signs in the world card is basically to say, this is something that you've been wishing for, hoping for, manifesting, all that good stuff. You've been working on it physically and metaphysically. And the world card is saying this change. It's a change that you've been wanting, that you've been wishing for, and it is solid. the potential for it to succeed is strong. Because again, change is not necessarily in the wheelhouse of the fixed signs, is not necessarily what they like, but when they stick to it, when they take it up and they grab it and they hold on to it, they will execute it. So the change that you want, the newness in your life that you want, the road that you wish to go on, you have the ability to do it. It's like so strongly in your favor. All right? Now, helping you behind closed doors is the High Priestess. So she's a lady who knows a lot but says very little, right? She pretty much knows everything. And she doesn't say much. And this card is not associated with any kind of, particular sign. Maybe sometimes Pisces and Cancer, maybe. But the point is, it's very spiritual. And that's also been kind of a theme with the three cards that have been coming out. A lot of spiritual stuff is going on within those cards. But anyway, you're guided somehow. You feel compelled deep within you. Like the physical side of you is here and partially in the star card. You're very aware of what's going on with your life here in the 3D realm on Earth. But you're also being guided, again, still partially with the star card, but also with the world and the High Priestess, with something you can't even describe. You can't even really put a finger on it. You know, metaphysical, esoteric, religious, spiritual. You believe it or you don't believe it. Some of you don't believe it. Your Virgo can be quite the skeptic. But it's, regardless, it's showing up here. It's happening. Whether you believe or don't believe that things are moving in the direction that you want. You might not get everything that you want, especially when we're talking about negotiations and partnerships. You might not get everything that you want, but it is leading towards a change and towards a structure or towards a new chapter in your life that you have wished for. Maybe you wish for a chapter that's going to be 58 pages. The chapter's going to be 42 pages at best. It's a new chapter, and a lot of the points along the way, the plot points that you want to see happen in your life will happen. It's just that chapter might be shortened, or that chapter might have more adjectives than you ever wanted there to be in that chapter. But regardless, the fact that it's a new chapter and the fact that it's relating to what you want it to relate to, that's the point. And she knows that. And that's the thing, is like the High Priestess knows, but she doesn't say a lot. So again, that's like the detail that you don't know, but she knows. You're getting a new chapter, but it's not as long as you like. Or you're getting a new chapter, but it's like twice as long as you would have wanted it to be. So let's say that. Let's say you're negotiating for a contract. Let's say you're in the appropriations department or the acquisitions department or whatever in your company, and you acquire contracts with people or other corporations, or and so you're negotiating a contract with, say, a new vendor. And maybe, standard for your company is to partner with vendors for 2 years. And then at the end of those 2 years, you'll renew. Now, maybe you're coming across a vendor that's amazing, or like will cut you so many deals and it's really beneficial for both of your companies to work together. But their thing is, we only do contracts for 3 years. So it's what you wish for. It's what your bosses need. It's what's going to get you the accolades and the praise at your job. It's going to fulfill your duty, whatever your job is. But you didn't know, but the High Priestess knew, that the other side needs more of a commitment from your company. So there's the negotiation, and there's the element that you didn't know, and there's the new chapter. You're bringing in new business to your existing business. And again, that pushes your agenda forward. That makes you look good because you're doing your job, and you're doing it well, Virgo. You see what I mean? So progression, positive progression here so far. Where things get a little hairy, I'm like, here and here. I think for some of you, I think this is more of a warning for some of you, and I don't think I have to warn many of you, because I don't think this is usually your forte, so to speak, Virgo. Some of you might be impatient when it comes to this change, when it comes to this new chapter being initiated in your life. Some of you might be like, okay, I'm ready. Can we go? And you're just like looking to jump. You're looking to initiate. You're looking to get it going. You're looking to sign on the dotted line. Okay, so if you're leaving the one job, give the 2 weeks notice, or give whatever notice is expected of you at your previous job. Don't just walk in on Monday morning, I quit, flip a table and walk out. Don't do that. You might want to, but I don't think you should. I mean, you can do whatever you want. It's your choice, of course. But because of his orientation towards this lovely, luscious thing that you've got going on here, this very ample, very abundant thing that you've got going on here, because of his orientation towards it, the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords, they are probably the most destructive and disruptive of the knights. They definitely go in guns blazing. They go in 100 miles an hour, and they often don't think before they act. And there's that tendency, or excuse me, there's that potential right here that you may want to give into your short-sighted whims or your impulse to be more proactive or more action-oriented or more explosive, more dramatic in some cases. You might want to, but look what you... Alright, Virgo, sorry about that. So yeah, this Knight of Wands, he might be going towards that new chapter. He might totally muck it up, or he might disrupt it or delay it in some ways, unintentionally. And the hard work that you're putting in, both in your physical body and your metaphysical body, would be disrupted if he's allowed to charge completely across this line here. So you want to watch that. You don't want to bite off more than you can chew. You don't want to burn any bridges. You want to be tempered with your energy. And the Star card would talk about that, tempering your energy, making sure things are balanced. Not too much of this, not too much of that. Just right. You want the Goldilocks effect, okay? And there's the potential, I think, for you, if you hold yourself back, Virgo, I think you would feel like this. You would have the perspective of feeling like this. So when the King of Wands is in reverse, oh God, he can be quite dismissive. He's very flippant. He's very arrogant. He can be very hot-headed. He can be very cold. He can also be very cold and then like give you the cold shoulder and just be sort of apathetic towards whoever he's dealing with and kind of dogmatic. Basically not a nice guy. And I think you would be... Okay, thank you. I read that wrong. Excuse me. If you act like him, that's why you're acting like that. Because you would be giving into those parts of yourself. Sorry, I apologize. Thank you for the clarification. If you allow yourself to be, quote-unquote, ruled by this King of Wands energy, which basically is saying, my way or the highway, similar to the Queen of Wands. But like I said, the Queen of Wands is, when she's upright, she can compromise. When he's reversed, there's no compromise. So if you go in too hard, if you go in too strong, if you try and strong-arm the situation or strong-arm the people in the situation, or if you lay on your agenda too heavily, that's how you end up here. And then you act like that. So there's a warning here. Don't do this. Is the warning. You can do whatever you want. It is your choice. But there is this warning of, you know, you catch, what is that phrasing? You catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar, or whatever that saying is. Err on the side of honey. Be smooth. Be calming. Be sweet. Not like in a manipulative way. Let those are already aspects of you. You're calm, you're smooth, you're sweet. I haven't met many abrasive Virgos, if any. I'm going through the Rolodex, and I know a lot of you guys. I know a lot of Virgos. A lot! And I have not met an abrasive Virgo yet. So it's not in you naturally, for most of you, to be prickly, to be adversarial, right? you're usually pretty go with the flow. Let's all be logical and rational about this. Da 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 da. You're not a pushover, but you're certainly not dogmatic. You're certainly not, a control. I was gonna say you're not a control freak. You are a control freak in some ways, but you know what I mean. You're just like not as hard edged as you sometimes portray yourself to be. And I'll leave it at that. So the King of Wands in reverse and the Knight of Wands in reverse, I think, are just kind of like, beware that perhaps, and it could be because, there's a little bit of patience involved with the Three of Pentacles. There's definitely patience involved because there is this whole unknown factor with the High Priestess. A little bit of patience involved with the Star card. And like I said, the Queen of Wands can compromise, but she would prefer not to, but she can. It's like bending. There's a bending going on. And some of you might be really like, what do you call that? What do you call that? I just couldn't think of the word. Impatience. Impatient. A lot of you are just impatient right now. You've been waiting for so long for this contract to be signed. You've been waiting to meet with these vendors. You've been waiting to get the hell out of that job that you hate so much. You've been, for some of you, even though I'm not, lovers showing up, that might be indicative. So some of you, this might be a love relationship. This might be a romantic situation where you're like, I have had it up to here, Henry, up to here. And you're about to leave Henry. I don't see that. I'm saying that, but I don't see that. Because a change and an unknown and all that stuff, that could mean an ending. I'm just saying it could. But I'm not feeling ending like terrible. I'm just seeing change. The key word in this reading is change. That could mean breakup. That could mean divorce. That could mean a lot of things. So apply that as you will. But whatever it is, I think you've wanted it for so long that you're kind of in this impatient, itching to go, chomping at the bit. I've had enough, and you want just to be done with it. So don't let that side of you get the better of you, Virgo, is the point here. Don't let that side of you get the better of you. You want to maintain control of this fiery, passionate, let's go out there and storm the castle kind of energy. Pull back on that, okay? Now your outcome, which is kind of interesting for July, is the Four of Swords in reverse. So Four of Swords in reverse is talking about don't wait, don't rest, don't reflect. Be active. Get out of that restfulness. And I think that's not necessarily speaking to these two cards because I feel that message is very strong. I think this is more connected to this whole Three of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands situation. I think that the not reflecting, the not resting is strike while the iron is hot. If you see the perfect, ample, just sweet spot, go for it. If you think you can, if you're on a team, let's say you're on a team and you're negotiating a contract, and somebody's like, oh, I think we should take that deal. I think we're not going to get anything better. And you're like, I think we can wait these guys out. Or I think if we go back with this counter offer, they'll still take it. And somebody's like, no, if you tell them that figure, they're going to back out of the deal. We have to take the deal now. And you're like, I got this. Virgo, you're like, no, I think if we come back and we say blah, 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 but increase it by 10%, we're solid. We got it. And then you go back and you get it because you were sticking to your guns. Instincts. Be aligned with your instincts a bit, okay? Is how I'm feeling that is coming across. Anything else with the Four of Swords? Because I think that was kind of cut and dry. Let me see. Anything else with the Four of Swords? Don't rest. Don't reflect too much. Right. So, but don't reflect too much. Don't overthink it. Don't psych yourself out. Also, yeah, if you're going in for a job interview and you're talking about salary and they're offering you a certain dollar amount and it's 10, 15% less than what you were hoping for, maybe you're not going to get that in your base salary, but get creative and think of another way that you can get that 10, 15% missing. So you can be like, all right, what's up with stock options? Tell me about that. And then they're like, oh, stock options. Virgo, you came prepared. So that's what I mean. Is have your wits about you. Yes, have your wits about you, have your negotiation hat on, hardcore, and get out there and do business. But don't get crazy with it. Don't feed into that overzealous, overexcited, go, go, go energy. Calm in the waters, okay? Your overall energy for July is the Lovers. Card of Gemini might be a Gemini of significance in your situation, but if not, this is a card that can talk about significant relationships. So again, some of you, this might be lovers, this might be relationships, this might be dating. You might be like, look, we met on Tinder like 2 years ago, but this isn't going anywhere. See you later, bye. I should have swiped left on you in the first time. That might be how some of you are coming across. So yeah, some of you are renegotiating, reevaluating certain romantic entanglements, certain and lovers and soulmates are not always actual lovers, people that you sleep with and all that stuff. It can be people who are your family, who are your friends, who are your confidants, who are your, best pals from kindergarten, whoever. But there might be some definitive decisions or definitive changes, not necessarily starting or stopping relationships, but just, again, changes. It could be, all right, we're engaged. When are we getting married? We've been engaged for 5 years. That's a ridiculously long engagement. Some of you be like, look, are we pulling this trigger or not? Are we getting this show on the road or not? Okay? So that's what I mean. So in the realm of significant relationships, some of you are making hardcore decisions, hardcore changes regarding those aspects of your lives or those relationships in your lives. Overall, though, if it's not about relationships, it is still about choice. It is still about whether we're doing this or that, left or right, up or down, blue or pink. And some of you might be having that choice. Are we going to raise our child in gender norms or not? Sorry. Anyway, so definitive choice with the Lovers card. And I think that you're guided because, again, we've got this figure of an angel right above these two figures that's kind of guiding them. And again, you've got guidance here, you've got guidance here, you've got some guidance too with the World card. And again, this aspect of 3, you've got 3 Wands cards, right? You've got the 3 of Pentacles, you've got 3 here in your major arcanas in your main spread. So there's this idea of being, for some of you, caught in the middle of 2 choices. Again, because you're the key negotiator, or you're the head of the negotiation team, or you're the one that has to choose, right? You're the one that has to choose. So I'm kind of stretching that a little bit, but that's kind of like how that's being interpreted. Like I see someone sort of like the old like taste test. I don't know if you've seen commercials or ads where it's like literally they put a tray in front of someone and it's got choice A, choice B, and the figure in the middle is the person making the choice. You're in the middle and you're going to make choice A or B. Cup A, Coca-Cola. Cup B, Pepsi-Cola. Whatever. It's reflected. You've got the 3 here, you've got the 3 Wands, you've got the 3 of Pentacles, and you have the figure of 3 on the Lovers card. There's this aspect of being in the middle and having to choose. You'll choose. I can't say you'll choose right, but I think many of you have been weighing this out for a long time. You've been evaluating this for a long time. You've been in talks with people for a long time. You've done your homework on the companies that you're applying to, that you're wanting to work with, the organizations that you want to work with, whatever. You are so prepared. You've done your homework. You have a book and a half of information that you can rely on. So that's when I'm feeling it's like the right choice in like, not right, but the most informed choice. I think you're going to make the most informed choice you could possibly make, Virgo, because you've done your homework in the physical, you've done your homework in the metaphysical. I think you're feeling aligned. If I'm honest, you're getting one of the better readings. You're the 6th one that I'm doing because I'm going in order, and you've gotten one of the better readings that I've done so far for July. So congratulations. All right? All right, Virgo. So that's going to be your reading for July. I hope that something has resonated here for you. If it did, like button is your friend. Go ahead and hit it. If not, that's okay too. Leave comments below. Feel free to share the video if you know other people who might there might be information in here for them that might be beneficial. And also subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, because that would also be awesome. And I will be back in about 2 weeks. I'm going to do your messages for August at that time, okay? Oh, before I completely sign off, check the description box. If you want a personal reading, if you want more on this situation or something else in your life, there's steps down there, 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, I think it is. You go ahead and follow those steps, and I will do a personal reading for you. And I would love to work with you if you are interested in working with me. Okay? All right, that's going to be your reading, Virgo. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.